apologies about that little glitch at the beginning. I did not click high enough on the OBS thing. But what is going on, guys? How y'all doing on this Tuesday night? This is the Club of the Man 1993, and we are here live for my live review of Monday Night Raw, the August 24th, 2020 edition of Raw that took place at the WWE TunderDome at the Amway Center in Orlando, Florida. This is, of course, the fallout from SummerSlam, and, of course, the go-home show to Payback, because Payback is only 1 week away, and I still don't get why we're doing this show. I really don't get why. But we had some matches set up on this show. This was a very back and forth, sloppy caliber episode of Raw. Even though the grade that I gave for this Raw, you'd probably disagree. Well, it doesn't sound like consistent with that. Because there was some stuff that I enjoyed on this show. There was definitely some stuff I did not enjoy. Especially one of the matches they set up for Payback on Sunday. All you gotta say is, "Huh?" We'll talk about that. But we did have some stuff that intrigued me on this show. But again, so it was either intriguing or ugh. And of course, speaking of, goofy looking eyes, we got Asuka back here as Raw Women's Champion. Of course, I have a couple of my graphics I need to fix for my streams this week, but those will come as they come. So let's check the live chat first. And of course, if you have not done so already, since I'm trying to, get the polls going now that my stream's been picking up good lately, make sure to follow me on Twitter at DemandAirborne93 and to participate in the poll afterwards. What grade would you give Raw and any other polls that I may look out there. So, of course, make sure to participate. That we have 7 votes as of now on that poll. And we've got Tyler in the live chat so far saying the ending was stupid. It was pretty pointless. And who's booking these matches for Payback? I would like to know. Because, okay, we have so far the triple threat match, no holds barred, for the Universal Championship, which the contract sign will be this Friday. Very intrigued to see how that match goes. It sounds awesome on paper, but of course, the big question still remains. Was that a Roman Reigns heel turn we witnessed at SummerSlam? We'll have to wait and find out on Friday whether I'll be like, alright, I'll be like, damn it, basically just pissed off because they get my hopes up again. Who knows? And it would not surprise me if WWE did that. We have a United States Championship match with Apollo Crews and Bobby Lashley. We'll get into that in a little bit. We do have a surprise. Sorry, my cousin texted me. I'm gonna reply back to her really quick. Anyways, so let's get back to this. I'm sorry, I just got distracted by a text from my cousin. Anyways, I'm sorry. But we had a debut also that's lead to a match at Payback that could be good, but it could be too soon. I'm not sure. But of course, again, there's one match I absolutely have zero interest in. And I mean zero, zip, none, nada. I literally do not want to watch this match. Literally do not. And yes, Tyler, this TunderDome is better than the PC with the fake crowd for sure. Although, I will address something really quick. Anyways, so I do think it's great that they brought in the virtual fans. We're getting, even though we have some piped in noises to help it out, it's nowhere close to being as over exaggerated, of course, as it was with the greatest wrestling match of all time between Randy Orton and Edge, which again was a good match. it was not the greatest match of all time. But I do think it's helped. But I must say, there's some people I think that definitely got to watch what they put on the screens. We've had people banned for putting a Fire Velveteen Dream sign up, which I think is too much. We had some people put Mario or Pikachu, which is funny, but a couple other things that again I don't want to say on the internet because I don't want to get in trouble for it, because I know I probably would. Of course, the one I thought that was too far was the Chris Benoit one, in my opinion, which I thought that was a very bold statement by whoever said that. But still, it was not right, I thought, in my opinion. But yes, I do agree the Thunderdome has been a better atmosphere for sure. So, yeah. Anyways, so let's talk about this show. Sorry, I keep turning my phone over. Not getting distracted by my cousin's texts, even though they appear on my computer. Anyways, let's roll into this review. Let's talk about Raw. So, that's an ESPN alert. Anyways, so we open up. First, we got, of course, even though he's on SmackDown, we had to get a big recap of Roman Reigns' return. Like I said, if he's officially declared a heel, then I'll accept that. But if they literally are just shoving it down our throats and they decide not to go with him being a heel and just say he's just edgier, but he's an edgier babyface, a polarized figure and whatnot, I will be like, seriously? Which I'm saying a lot of other things on the show. So we get that recap. Then we open up with Drew McIntyre comes out and welcomes us all to the Thunderdome and tells everybody to put a thumbs up before he starts talking. Which, of course, again, Drew needs, because once again, like I said, it's good to actually have a crowd in front of him as WWE Champion and put on a really good match at SummerSlam. I'm still surprised he won, especially if he won how the way he did, and he didn't hit Orton with a Claymore, and he also didn't hit the RKO on Orton, and Orton didn't hit the punt on him, well, on Sunday. Yesterday, though. So, anyways, McIntyre, talks about how he overcame Orton to retain the title. What was his secret? Simple. He's hungrier than Randy, he works harder than him, and he pushes forward no matter what. And he knows what's hard, desperate times are like. Okay, I gotta stop. I'm sorry. I'm getting distracted by one of the things. Okay, anyways. Focus, Mike. Focus. Anyways. So he knows what it's like to be involved in desperate times and hard times, and wondering where your next paycheck is coming from. And Orton has never had that. His inner circle made sure he made it to the top. But the funny part is, with all that he's the absolute best, and last night, McIntyre was just that much better, he says. He brings up the greatest wrestling match ever, which I'm like, no, Drew, no, don't even hype that up. Please don't hype that up. But he did. He talks about the greatest wrestling match ever. I thought we were done with that. And says he beat Randy with a wrestling maneuver. What does that make him now? The greatest wrestler ever. He's looking forward to his next challenge. And if Orton wants to step up again, that's fine, because he didn't get a chance to hit him with a Claymore. Or send him to a Claymore country last night. So pretty much he fired the challenge out there, feel free to come at me again, Orton, I'm not afraid. So as he's on the stage, one last time, putting the title up, just celebrating with the crowd, BAM! Randy Orton blindsides him from behind. They start to brawl on the ramp and into Gorilla. which we do see some people, can't tell who, sitting on, sitting at their desk, probably Vince, who knows, probably doesn't want to be seen because he's too old to be on TV, yes. But they continue to brawl until Orton tires eye out, and McIntyre's down. BAM! One punt! Orton punts McIntyre. But that wasn't enough to keep McIntyre down, as the referees are trying to break Orton up again, but then he breaks free, and a second punt. The first one looked kind of botched, the second one looked better. So McIntyre got punted twice. But then afterwards, after commercial, we see McIntyre, obviously shaken up, getting on his own 2 feet. And I'm like, wait a minute. Orton's punted Edge once. He's gone. He's punted Christian. Christian's gone. Big Show. He's gone. Ric Flair. He's gone. Shawn Michaels. He's gone. It's like, okay, yes, maybe some of them are older now, blah, 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 this and that, but 2 punts and that was not enough to keep McIntyre down. I mean, awesome. I guess if he's the only one who's going to do so, but are they slowly wearing off the effects of the punt? I don't know. I mean, we had a third one later, which we'll talk about that one a little bit. So that was, I'm a little iffy about that, but so that was a good promo. And again, I thought McIntyre and Orton had a really good match. And, of course, it's not going to be happening at Payback, but looks like we're going to be getting another match between these two at Clash of Champions, or whatever the September pay-per-view is. We'll have to wait and see. So, yeah, that's how we start off Raw, with a pretty good opening promo by Orton. And then, by McIntyre. I can't talk today, I'm sorry. And then that, so we're obviously going to get a rematch at some point. The question is, though, is when. So, yeah, so McIntyre gets punted twice in the head, and he gets up and walks away. Of course, we get a hype reel for Keith Lee, who's making his Raw debut, and then, oh gosh. Let's start tearing apart the thing I hated most about this show. We see Nia Jax backstage. She runs into an interviewer. She berates the woman for accosting her and says, by the way, I've been reinstated, because all I had to do was go to Pat Buck and apologize! Yes, she literally screamed, apologize! Like that into this interviewer's ear. Hey! She's like, what's so hard about that? I'm like, oh my god, like, what's so hard about that? What's so hard about having to apologize? Like, well, you couldn't do it a few weeks ago when you originally got suspended. Which, again, here's my question. What was the reason behind you being suspended? What was the reason? Seriously, what was the story? There is no story to Nia Jax being suspended. It's like it didn't even need to happen. Why was this even a thing? But it gets worse. Much worse. Much worse. So, Shayna Baszler rolls up. I'm like, oh gosh, we're continuing the feud with Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. So, Shayna says everyone's counting down the moments until she does or says something that gets her suspended again. Nia calls her and after she beats Bayley, says call her after she beats Bayley, and Baszler says she'll have to call her Haystacks Calhoun, except whoops, he was handsome looking, which apparently is referencing someone who weighed like 600 pounds, so she pretty much called Nia Jax fat on live TV. Ooh. But Nia calls her an Addams Family reject, and she's like, welcome back, and I'm just like, oh gosh. Addams Family reject. Apologize! Addams Family reject and so I'm like, why are we doing this? And again, why is Shayna Baszler a babyface? Well, I'm going to wait still to the turn alert until after Payback, when she should hopefully be feuding with Asuka and not having something else around her waist after Payback, which I'll explain in a minute. Well, when we get there. Because I don't get why Shayna's a babyface. Again, Shayna Baszler is... I don't think she's meant to be a babyface. Somebody else, of course, within this past few minutes I've talked about, is also sure as hell definitely not supposed to be a babyface. So, anyways. So, we have that. Then we have Shayna Baszler go out for her match with Bayley. Nia Jax came out and stood on the ramp and watched the match. And just randomly in the middle of the match, she randomly pulls the foot of Shayna Baszler and starts beating down on her and causes the disqualification. Why? Oh, I don't know why. Because nothing Nia Jax does makes any sense. Everything about Nia Jax is horrible and pointless. But then, this is where it gets very good. This is where it even puts the nail in the coffin. So they are brawling outside of the ring. And basically, they're fighting. But then Bayley and Sasha are like, yeah, you keep beating each other up, whatnot. Then all of a sudden, Shayna and Nia stop brawling and just stare the both of them down. And I'm like, no, what? They tease something, but we'll take a little bit of a breather for a second and get back to that. So already I'm in panic mode. I'm like, no. What? Why? What sense does this make right here if you're doing what I think they're doing? We'll get to that shortly. Step back, Mike. Calm down. Breathe. No need to apologize! But we get something interesting. Kevin Owens is wandering around backstage, putting on his tie, getting ready for the Kevin Owens show. He's looking for Aleister Black's locker room. He finds it and he opens the door. But we don't see Aleister Black. It's just a dark room he peeks into. He asks if he's coming on a KO show because he's next. But then, again, you can't see Aleister Black. But then Owens says, I'll see you out there. And he walks away. We see Black's hand. We don't see Black, but we see his hand reach out and slams the door shut. So obviously, again, they're teasing a little bit of a character change here for Aleister Black. So then we have the show where Owens welcomes us. He introduces his guest, Aleister Black, which, of course, again, I am praying to God, please don't change his entrance music. Please don't change his entrance music. We'll talk about entrance music in a little bit. So it was trimmed a little bit at the beginning, which I'm like, okay, whatever. He didn't get raised up or anything or have a badass entrance. He just walks out like a normal person. Well, then again, probably made sense for this because of, his situation. This is the first time we've seen Aleister Black in over a month since Buddy Murphy pierced his eye into the steel steps, just like Seth Rollins did to Rey Mysterio. So Aleister Black makes his way out. Again, he has something covering his eye around his face. Looks pretty cool, and he gets into the ring. He sits down. And then basically Owens was just like, he says, we don't have to show the footage, but Black's like, no, it's cool, show the footage. So we show the footage, of course, again, what happened with Aleister Black. Owens says, now, I understand what you're going through. I've been there. Rollins can get in your head, and he's trying to just take a difference in the path. Every time you show that footage, every time you will look at it, but then Aleister has a freak out and falls forward holding onto his head. He's like, whoa, are you okay? Owens is trying to console him, saying he knows what he's going through because he understands how he feels. But then Aleister Black, bam, turns around and does like a spinning elbow, and hits Owens in the cheek. And then Owens is getting back on his, trying to like regain himself, and then Black hits a Black Mass. So that was very possible, and I kind of expected it, but I'm not 100% sure. It most likely was an Aleister Black heel turn, which I've always wondered how Aleister Black would be as a heel. Maybe, probably more in NXT than the main roster, because again, I'm hearing the rumors again that Vince has kind of soured on him a little bit. But there is a story to this character change if that in fact was a heel turn. My thing is I'm not sure if this was a heel turn or if this was just like, like a psychotic breakdown by Aleister Black. So like, it's one of those things where it's like, I want to wait on this one before I do the turn alert. Yes, probably by the time I do it, it's not going to get super many views, but again, to be safe, I'll wait. But if it was a heel turn, I'm for it. And again, it made sense. Like, why would you have the same exact thing happen with, even though, again, I would still love to see on pay-per-view Aleister Black and Seth Rollins. They've had a couple matches on Raw, right, which kind of ticks me off because, once again, that should be a pay-per-view caliber match. A SummerSlam or WrestleMania-worthy match. Aleister Black and Seth Rollins. But, of course, they're going a little bit different direction. And like I said, though, it was most likely was a heel turn. But give it another week or so. Let's see, what Aleister Black has to say. Again, whether if he was, it was just a psychotic breakdown, or if he literally was turning heel. So we'll see. So that was interesting. Backstage, though, Sasha and Bayley are complaining about Sasha being in danger when she has her rematch tonight. Because she's going to have a rematch for the Raw Women's Championship in a lumberjack match. And then afterwards, they take care of that business. They vow to take care of Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. And I'm like, oh no. Again, we're going to wait because it's not been official yet. We're not going to wait. It's just, just speculations at this time, right? Just speculations. No need to apologize! Anyways, so, let me see here. So then we have a fatal 4-way for the 24/7 title. Shelton Benjamin, the champion, taking on Akira Tozawa, Cedric Alexander, and R-Truth. I didn't care about this match. Tozawa won with a sunset flip on R-Truth. He won the title, and he runs back while his ninjas take a beating, pretty much, because, of course, it's still a thing, and I still don't get why. Why is it still a thing? But then, we had this segment. Next, we have Randy Orton coming out. Obviously, he wants to, address his actions from earlier tonight. Him taking out Drew McIntyre, when Drew McIntyre even laid an opportunity for a rematch on the table. So, he comes out and he says he's done what he wants, when he wants, to whom he wants, but last night wasn't the case. He promised all of us he'd RKO Drew McIntyre, punt him, and take his title. He didn't, though. You can call him a lot of things, but one thing he'll always be is a man of his word. He promised us he'd kill legends of Edge, Christian, Big Show, Ric Flair, and Shawn Michaels. And that's exactly what he did, because he's the legend killer. And today, he punted Drew twice because he offered a rematch out of pity. What does he think he is? Well, Randy Orton is the legend killer. Of course, he starts saying how he's the greatest wrestler. And then, I got excited. Because then, you hear, oh, bask in his glory. And I'm like, holy smokes, wait a minute here. We all knew Keith Lee was showing up on Raw, but did we think he'd go after Orton? And I'm just like, whoa, hold on here. The theme music is there, and I'm like jamming to it. And then, just like that, my excitement went, For he is limitless. And you heard it all die down, because then we go from that to bask in his glory. And no, we did not, because Keith Lee has already hit the main roster under Vince's power. Gotta make some changes. Gotta change the theme song, because Keith Lee has the introduction to his original theme song. That, of course, took me a few months to grow on. Then I actually love it. It's on my phone, for crying out loud. Sometimes I jam to it when I drive to work. To a generic rock song that I'm pretty sure Vince just pulled right off the YouTube audio library. Keith Lee comes out with a clean-shaved face, different attire on, and I'm just thinking, I almost felt the exact same way I felt whenever the War Raiders came up and I realized they changed their names completely. You just don't know anymore. Matt Riddle could have came up as like Timothy Boots or Timothy Bro or something like that, with different theme music, or with the same theme music. You know, Hanson and Rowe, I'm almost forgetting their names, came up as Eric and Ivar, the Viking Raiders, and it sucked the life out of them. Keith Lee comes up with brand new theme music. And I am supposed to be hearing rumors that it's because CFO is, since he's no longer in the company, they're starting to change people who had songs by CFO. So, God, that means Tommaso Ciampa's theme's going to be changed against the main roster if he ever goes. Please don't go, Ciampa. So, yeah, Keith Lee has new entrance music now, and it's a generic rock music, because they're super duper lazy. Again, if they really had to change his theme music because of, CFO, I pray to God that this generic rock music that was pulled off of YouTube audio library probably is just temporary until they find, something better. I'm hoping that's the case. Again, if it's because of copyright issues, I understand, but of course, they still could, buy the rights to it because of how much money they have. But again, please do not keep this stupid generic music. Again, do you realize that, anytime somebody else changes character like in NXT and they need new theme music, it's like instantly the first thing that and they get back, but WWE, it takes them forever to do so? Oh God, I was just already just like so worn out by seeing that they changed his theme music and his attire as well. But that wasn't as bad as the theme. But anyways, so Keith comes out and he says, "Greetings and salutations, Mr. Orton. My name is Keith Lee, and I'm here to offer you a spectacular opportunity to stop what he is doing, take a moment, and bask in his glory. Randy, you've been called many things. Viper, Apex Predator, Legend Killer, and Keith as well has many things. Game Changer, Anomaly, and for certain, Limitless. And since he is here on Raw and Orton is looking for a fight, the likes of which no one has ever felt, with respect to his friend Drew McIntyre, he'd stop up if he's willing to accept the challenge one-on-one right now." So the promo was good he cut. I like the promo he cut. Of course, again, the theme music. But Orton's like, right on the fence, like, "You want to fight? You want to fight me? You want to fight? Maybe later." And just rolls out of the ring and goes away. But then, of course, we are then told later on we're going to be getting Keith Lee versus Randy Orton, his first match on Raw. Okay. Again, other than, the theme music rant, I was fine with this promo. Again, I thought, Keith, delivered himself well. So we'll see where it goes, but it's already a change, Keith's theme music. Even though he has his original one. Well, the "For he is limitless." I'm just like, oh God. Again, it's one thing to change theme music. It's one thing to literally pick just a generic song, literally that that could be picked off of YouTube audio library. What idiots. So lazy they are. Anyways, then backstage we have another interview with Angel Garza, Zelina Vega, and that Demi from The Bachelor, which I don't know why she's still around, hanging out. Of course, once again asking Vega's right to admit to her poisoning. She's like, no, I did not do it. It's like, shut up. We already the footage you did. Just admit it and let's move on from this, because apparently this feud is still going on because we have a match then with Angel Garza and Montez Ford. So first off, Demi's bragging about how she just spent time with Ivar over the weekend, but of course she's still hitting on Garza and whatnot. And during this match, I think, what's the tweet I posted? What's the tweet? Let me see here. Where's that tweet? Where is it? Where in the world is it? Where is it? Don't show me that. Not that either. Where is it? Gosh, where is it? Aha! So, during the match, out comes Ivar, holding something behind his back, and I know exactly what it is, because what else would Ivar bring out? A turkey leg, he proposes to Demi, and I just tweeted hashtag turkey leg romance. Let me ask a very important question here. Vince, and I'm speaking directly to you. You're now 75 years old. Your mind is going much more senile. I must ask you this very important question. Do you, sir, you kind sir, do you by any chance have a man crush on Ivar? Because you seem to constantly think that a lot of girls think he's cute. Eric, not so much. And you're having him walking around giving them turkey legs as bouquets. Montez Ford, off of distraction, beats Angel Garza. They're probably going to continue this feud, which wise do so. We've seen how many matches between these guys. But of course, and also what bothered me about this was Andrade came out as well, and he was not even bothered one bit by what happened in the match last night. There was no argument about that at all, which again makes no sense, because either they're arguing back and forth over the petty stuff that makes no sense to argue about, or when times they should be arguing, they're not. Who is booking this crap? Who's writing this? I don't know. Oh goodness, but okay. You know how I said, we'll come back to this. We'll come back to this. Well, I cannot avoid it anymore. Actually, I'm sorry. Let's check the live chat first, just to ease my mind off of this. So being a video game, it's the other one with Black and 24/7 7-Eleven TV champion. I saw that tweet on your Twitter. Yep, the turkey leg romance. And also, probably the other one has to do with what I'm just about to share with you people that, again, I still cannot believe I am about to tell you this. We could have had a longer live chat to avoid talking about this. So backstage, once again, we see Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax rolls up to her. Nia's like, oh my gosh, so I wasn't thrilled about teaming, but I didn't realize they could win the tag titles. I just want the tag titles. I just want the titles. I just want the titles. Shayna says, I'll help you with the titles as long as Jax gets off her back. And she's like, alright, you have to follow my lead. Which Shayna slaps like, oh my gosh, how can you slap me? And then it was made official. We have opponents for Sasha and Bayley on Sunday at Payback for the women's tag titles. I am not even joking. The Boston Hug Connection, the Golden Role Models, Sasha Banks and Bayley, are defending their titles, their tag titles, against the team of Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. Nia Jax, the same woman who got suspended for God knows why, what the whole point of this was, who's been beating the crap out of Shayna Baszler for weeks, Nia Jax has had nothing to do with this stuff involving the Golden Role models, Asuka and Shayna Baszler, even though, again, I feel like Shayna Baszler they're portraying her as a babyface, but I still don't think she should be a babyface. I'm still not going to do a turn alert yet, but yet, for crying out loud, they freaking are putting them now, all of a sudden they're fighting, then just like that, they're a tag team! How does Nia Jax, let's keep this in mind. Nia Jax got a Raw Women's Championship shot at WrestleMania 34 because, oh my gosh, Alexa Bliss hurt my feelings, she bullied me. Yet, first off, months later, she was bullying too. Yet then, keep this in mind, Nia Jax had just had 3 weeks in a row of having shots to get that title opportunity against Asuka, and she lost every single one of them. Yet she still gets a title shot at WrestleMania because Alexa Bliss was a meanie to her. Now, Nia Jax makes no sense, for crying out loud. No sense, is getting horrible white heel heat. Again, the heel heat that Baron Corbin gets, the get off my TV, I hate seeing you, you're not great at your job, I'm sorry, get off the TV heat. She gets suspended for God knows who what, and not only is she getting a tag title shot, but they're portraying her now as a babyface! Like, this better be just like a fluke thing just to give Sasha and Bayley just a match, because there's no freaking depth in this women's division whatsoever, especially for these tag titles. Yet you're just going to throw together a random ass tag team of Shayna Baszler, who should be a heel, and even though they're booking her as a babyface right now, I'm not doing that turn alert, and then you give her partner Nia Jax, portraying her as a babyface. Why in the world would anyone want to cheer for Nia Jax? Huh? It's like, this is like if you try to make Baron Corbin a babyface, for crying out loud. Is anybody gonna get behind a babyface Baron Corbin? Heck no! So first off, I don't even want to watch this match. I don't want to see Nia and Shayna win those tag titles. I don't. Absolutely not. If it was Shayna Baszler and someone else, it'd be random, okay. But it's Shayna Baszler and Nia freaking Jax. Who wants to see that tag team? What sense did this make? What sense did this make whatsoever? How do you have those two beating the piss out of each other to all of a sudden, oh, let's team up and take out Sasha and Bayley? Why? Why is it happening? Why is this? What sounds more ridiculous? That teaming up, or a woman unmatching me on Hinge because I asked her, hey, how's your weekend? How's your studying going? What's more ridiculous, that or this tag team with Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler fighting for the tag titles? Yet Nia Jax has done nothing to earn these tag titles. And I swear, if they put the titles on them and they roll with them both as baby faces, what in the hell? I literally gotta look down at my phone for a minute and just completely just forget that I've literally wasted my breath talking about all of this. And goodness. Let me answer this text and actually get my mind off this for a second. I'm just literally just digesting my thoughts, answering this text message. Okay, answer that text, ease my mind back for a minute, and, yes, I'm not talking about that again. Did you, honest to God, think WWE was that ridiculous to book Nia Jax? Okay, I'm just stopping. I'm just stopping because I know if I go on more and more and more, I'm just gonna go even more nuts talking about that idea. Nia, it's 42 minutes in this live stream, and I've spent most of the time talking about Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, the freaking tag. Let's just move on. I'm moving on. Anyways, we then see, speaking of the women, some women I care about, Liv Morgan and Ruby Riott walking around. They run to Bianca Belair. They walk and talk and have a 6-woman tag match against Zelina Vega and the Iconics. Match was decent. Bianca Belair and Riott Squad won with a KOD. I gotta ask one question about Bianca that concerns me. Has she done one hair whip? I probably asked this last week with their match with Zelina Vega one-on-one. Has she done one hair whip yet on the main roster? I hope to God Vince did not take away that move, because that move is awesome. It's unique. It's so Bianca, and it's awesome, and it sounds like it hurts like a freaking... Once again, they bring stars on the main roster, and they just ruin them. Then we're getting ready for this arm wrestling match with Bobby Lashley and Apollo Crews. First, we see Ricochet and Cedric Alexander acting like two rookies playing arm wrestling on the arm wrestling table that Mark Henry's going to be using. He's going to be officiating it. So he takes it. When MVP rolls up and starts to talk to Cedric Alexander into joining the Hurt Business. And then he puts down Ricochet and he acknowledges that Cedric already said no, but pitches him on the Hurt Business again anyways, basically saying you're going to be playing patty cake and whatnot with Ricochet just because. So then we have Mark Henry introducing both Bobby Lashley and Apollo Crews. They talk trash, and then so Bobby Lashley goes for some mind games and fake outs, but then Apollo, when they actually go to attempt to lock up again, Apollo Crews stomps on Lashley's foot and hammers his arm down and wins the arm wrestling match. It was whatever. I mean, again, we've seen, like terrible ones. Like, usually, like arm wrestling matches, I think, are stupid on Raw, especially the one with Bayley and Dana Brooke. But this one was whatever. I kind of accepted it a little bit. I'm just wondering, though, why are we doing Apollo Crews and Bobby Lashley now? We should have just done that at SummerSlam. Because now that we've seen Crews beat MVP 3 times now, including his match he had with him for the spot in the in the Money to Make ladder match, I was just like, okay, then what's the point now of continuing this feud with the Hurt Business if he's beating MVP twice? Like, what takes him so long to say, okay, he could have beat me, but you can't beat it should continue on with just Crews and Lashley, because storyline wise, even though he was sick, wasn't Lashley the one that wrote him out? But instead you're going to you overdid it with Crews and MVP. I don't know, guys. So yeah, so we have that, and then we have a recap of Dominic Mysterio's debut, and the Mysterio family is interviewed, talking about how proud they are of Dominic, and he admits he was terrified, but his dad gave him courage when he was out there. And Ray says how one day Seth will have a family of his own, which he's going to because his wife is pregnant, and And but basically he just says Rollins will have to deal with the consequences of what he's done to their family for the rest of the year. Oh, we have another terrible women's segment. Lana and Natalya come out. Once again, this is just reminding me of how bad Natty is. Her promos are as a heel. She says how today is special for them because they're inducting a special into the Hall of Fame, and Natty is the best of all time. Hashtag boat. They're going to talk about Mickie James, though. About her career. They put together these footage, and then it shows a black screen saying she's done nothing, which is absolute insult, absolute lie. Mickie came out, and she beat them both down. This is stupid. Bobby Lashley and the Hurt Business beat down everyone basically at Raw Underground. And, we were supposed to get a match with Ivar and Dolph Ziggler. They just wrecked shop because they were upset about what Apollo Crews did. Okay, whatever. Hang on, let me answer this text. Sorry, just important stuff I gotta take care of real quick. Sorry, I just want to answer this. Anyways, okay, I'm sorry. When you are on a roll with something and you gotta keep going with it, and you don't want to miss out. Anyways, because I keep getting distracted by my phone, I am sorry, guys. So yeah, we had that horrible segment, and of course, in the Hurt Business wrecking shop at Raw Underground. We have Keith Lee and Randy Orton. Thought this gave us a taste for those who don't watch NXT. A good taste of what Keith Lee can do inside the ring. Thought he looked good, but of course Drew McIntyre interferes whenever Orton's about to hit the RKO, about to set up Keith for the RKO, and McIntyre and Orton brawl, and then McIntyre's interview backstage, basically just talking more crap about Orton, when Orton attacks him backstage and punts him again for a third time, and this one out of the blue was good enough to send Drew McIntyre to the hospital. Yeah, again, it didn't quite make sense. But then, of course, we have Keith Lee later cutting a promo, basically saying that he's going to give Orton payback, and we have a match official for payback, Keith Lee and Randy Orton, which I'm not sure if it's the right time to be doing that too soon, because one, Orton's in the midst of a feud with Drew McIntyre. Are people really going to want to see Randy Orton in a feud immediately with Randy Orton, lose here and have Keith Lee put into a title match, into a title match? I don't think so. But I also don't want to see Keith Lee lose. So not sure how this is going to go. So they've already kind of cornered themselves a little bit with this one, I'd say. We have Asuka defeated Sasha in a lumberjack match. It was pretty predictable of what was going to happen. Basically the same exact match that lumberjacks involved. But then the moment that Bayley tried to get involved, Shayna Baszler stopped her. It is what it is. And then we have our main event, which is Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy taking on Dominic and Rey Mysterio. Why did they do this? Why didn't they leave this for payback? I don't know why. Match was solid, but then the ending was Retribution coming out and attacking the Mysterios and Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy on the ramp, just avoiding disaster and whatnot. So they couldn't have at least waited till after the match to attack them. Plus two, I think it's time we finally just reveal who is in Retribution. I know some people are thinking Roman Reigns is the leader. Who knows? But, I don't know. And that's Raw. We went off the air. I thought about this more. Well, first, let's check and see what grade people gave this Raw. 7 votes. 14.3% said A. 14.3% said B. 28.6% said C. And 42.9% said D or lower. I originally was going to give this a C+. I think it's not C+ worthy. I don't think... I'm giving it a C. A C, because there was things I liked. Even though I hate that they changed Keith's theme music, I thought it was, I don't know. It was a very consistent. Things like, okay, I like this, but I also didn't like this. I'm giving this Raw a C. I'm giving this Raw a C. I'm sorry, I have stuff going on with my phone, distracted by. I want to get off for. I'm sorry about this, guys. They make 0 sense. 0 tag teams. Triple H should be in charge. Why is Lana still here? God knows who knows why. And Tyler Gate is a D. But, yep, guys, that's going to do it for Raw. I'll be live probably tomorrow night for NXT because Dynamite's on Thursday this week. So, what were your thoughts on Raw for this week? What are your thoughts on Keith Lee's debut? Is theme music changing? Do you hate the idea of Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler as a tag team as well? Leave your thoughts down in the comments section below. Slap a like on the video. Subscribe or comment to my channel. And follow me on Twitter at DemandAirboy93. Until then, guys, I am out. Have a great rest of your night. I will see you guys tomorrow for my NXT review. Peace out, everybody.